Are you having fun in your business? I mean, it should be fun, right? Well, sometimes the fun gets overlooked when you're dealing with the have-tos, the complexities of being your own boss and actually running the show. It's my goal that this, the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast, can help reignite your spark of fun by providing tips, tools, insights, and inspiration so you can enjoy running your business in the simplest, easiest, most fun way possible. I'll be sharing practical tips and ideas that you can implement immediately, along with business and money mindset insights to keep you moving forward no matter what's going on around you. I'm your host, Deirdre Amies, the Fun Business and Money Coach and founder of Powered by Personality. Let's play. Hey there, and welcome to the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast. I'm your host, Deirdre Amies. So here's the thing. I've been thinking a lot recently about systems. I love them. I see them everywhere, and I'm going to keep talking about them because they're the bomb. Systems, processes, workflows, templates, SOPs, whatever you want to call it, it's a system. It's the steps you take to complete something. And in theory, it would be a perfect system with simple, clear steps that are super easy to follow and to implement. Anyone could pick up and follow your system and replicate your results, right? Yeah, maybe not. What if it's a perfect system for keeping yourself small or stuck in limbo, where you've never actually been able to achieve that success that you know you're capable of? That's a doozy of a system. And that's the one that we're going to crack wide open for a look at in the actual process involved today. This one can be a bit of a mind bender, and it's something that I do recommend you take some time to work through on your own. Grab a piece of paper and a pen if you can, or sit down at your computer with a blank document and map out your perfect system for keeping yourself small. Now, full disclosure, this is not my concept. As I shared in episode 110 about being a creative copycat, don't go laying claim to something that you didn't come up with in the first place. It's not cool. By all means, put your own spin on it, put it in your own words, and share your own thoughts. But don't just copy something and lead people to believe that you came up with it, okay? So full credit for this concept goes to Rich Litvin. He's a leadership coach that I've followed for a number of years now. He's the author of the book, The Prosperous Coach, along with Steve Chandler. This idea of the perfect system to sabotage yourself has stuck in my head for a good 5 years now. It's something that I catch myself doing on the regular, so don't go thinking that I've got my shiz together, because I really don't. My spin on this concept comes in the form of the money archetypes. Not only do I see systems everywhere, but I see money archetypes and their various traits absolutely everywhere as well. If you weren't aware, I'm a certified sacred money archetypes coach. A money archetype is the personality traits that show up in your relationship with money. We all have certain traits that can be categorized as one or a combo of the 8 different money archetypes. I did a full episode to explain what each of them are. So if you haven't listened to that one already, or if you don't understand what a money archetype even is, go check out episode 3. Unlock the power of your money personality for all the deets on those. And if you don't yet know your money archetypes, go take my quiz. It'll take you less than 10 minutes to find out what makes your relationship with money so different to someone else. The quiz is over at deirdreamies.com/take-the-quiz. That's DEIRDREAMIES.com/take-the-quiz. Or, you can just hit the link in the description of this and every episode. Because let's face it, my name is not the easiest thing to spell. So let's get into this perfect system, shall we? What I'm going to outline for you are 9 different ways, 9 different steps involved that help you to sabotage your financial situation. I've got some suggestions for how you can do things differently if you choose to, but my main intention in this episode is to bring your awareness to the gaps and the potholes that may be contributing to you struggling with money. I want you to think of something that you've been aiming for quite a while, but you can't seem to crack the secret code. You know there's something stopping you from getting there, but it's not completely obvious to you, even if it's obvious to everyone else. For a lot of my clients and the people who listen to this podcast, it's money. So, of course, we're going to use that as an example. What is it that's keeping you in a constant state of struggle around money, no matter how much you earn? I want you to keep in mind, though, that this perfect system for keeping you in the status quo, that can apply to any situation, whether it's relationships, business, creativity, career growth, absolutely anything. Now, some people like to mind map their thought process for things like this. That's where you write something in the middle of a page and you connect the dots between that and all the other things associated with it so that you can see the patterns, aka the system, around it. I dislike the messiness of mind maps, so I tend to brainstorm it as a list down a page or even write it as a journal entry so that I can free write my flow of thoughts or ideas. Whatever you prefer to do that. Don't let the method be the sabotage getting in the way of mapping out your perfect system for sabotaging yourself. Because let's face it, that's what we're talking about here, self-sabotage. It's our subconscious thoughts and experiences keeping us from taking action to improve our lives or a particular situation. There's a fear of change, fear of judgment, fear of being seen. Fear of absolutely anything that you can think of is usually at the root of self-sabotage, whatever it takes to keep us safe. That doesn't mean that whatever you're doing right now is wrong. It's worked great so far. It's kept you safe. So it's doing exactly what it's meant to do. But what if you are meant for something bigger, better, or different? Here's something that I want you to write down and remember. Every sabotage is a system, and it has a better system if you're willing to embrace change. I'm going to say that again for you. Every sabotage is a system, and it has a better system if you're willing to embrace change. So mind map, brainstorm, journal, pick your method, and roll with it. Here's an example of a perfect system for struggling with money, no matter how much you earn. I'm going to break each one down for you, but here's the overview. And these are in no particular order. I'm just going to list them all out. The first one, don't look at your financial situation so that you don't feel the pain. And keep your fingers crossed while you're at it because it'll all magically get better that way. Another one is to don't understand or learn about the tax system. And it's even better if you have an excuse as to why you don't want to learn or understand it. Don't look at the numbers either. Don't you be tracking your income or expenses. When you're feeling flush with cash, you're going to splash it around and buy unnecessary items. You're going to surround yourself with friends who see $100,000 as a lot of money. You'll create just enough to get by, and then you'll stop. You'll take pause. You'll fill your calendar with busy work to keep you occupied and keep on ignoring the situation further. You'll use credit instead of saving money and paying excess bank charges and interest on your purchases in the process. And you'll avoid investing in a team. Just be happy doing everything yourself and it'll be fine. Let's dive into these in a bit more detail and break them down. That first one, ignoring your financial situation so you don't feel the pain and just keeping your fingers crossed that it's all going to work out fine. This one hurts me deeply right off the bat because it's a connector money archetype trait, which is my main money archetype. We're very optimistic. The house could be burning down and we'll say, it's fine. There's always something positive. Please don't ignore your financial situation. It doesn't hurt any less by doing that. Just pull out all the info and take an honest look at it. It may not be as bad as you actually think it could be, but you have to get familiar with your numbers and know what's going on, even at the most basic level. The next one, where you don't understand or you don't want to learn about the tax system and coming up with a bunch of excuses around it. You know what they say? The two guarantees in life are death and taxes. Every country is different, and I am by no means qualified to give any tax advice anywhere in the world. But please make it a priority to understand your tax obligations. There should be no surprises at tax time, especially if you're in business. Don't use excuses like, it's too hard to understand, or I don't understand this country's tax system because I'm not from here. What I do recommend to clients is the profit first system for managing your finances. That's where you distribute your income into specific accounts for specific purposes as soon as you receive it. You're allocating funds for your taxes right away. And those percentages that you allocate will vary depending on your situation and your location, of course. But the principles of profit first are solid. Hey, if I can do this as a connector who needs to keep it simple, you can do it too. The next one is to not look at the numbers. Don't you be looking at the numbers. And don't you dare track your income or expenses. This is closely related to ignoring your financial situation and claiming ignorance about your taxes, but it is a slightly different approach. If you don't look at your numbers, of course you have no clue about your financial situation. You need to be tracking your income and your expenses. That way you know what's coming in and what's going out. Most people will just track their expenses. They'll follow a budget. But they're not looking at what's coming in or what they can do to increase their income. Track them both and you'll do just fine. The next one is when you're feeling flush with cash, you want to splash it around and buy unnecessary things because it makes you feel good. I do it. You do it. Everyone does it now and then. Okay, maybe not the accumulator money archetypes, but definitely the connectors, celebrities, alchemists, and romantics among us. Splashing the cash can feel really good in the moment, but it doesn't feel so good when it's gone. So just check yourself on that one. Another one is to surround yourself with friends who see $100,000, $100K, as a lot of money. Yeah, this one hurts too. Think about the conversations that you have about money with the various people in your life. They, whoever they are, say that you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And this applies to money as well. $100K is not a lot of money these days in any currency. Take into account the taxes, retirement savings, because that's being a good, responsible custodian of money right there, the various business expenses that you'll have. And let's be honest, you're not left with a whole lot to actually splash around. So my hot tip here is to raise your circle of influence and get connected with people who make a lot more money than you do. Take note of how they talk about money, the energy that they bring to it. And watch your financial situation change. You'll think differently about money. The next one is where you create just enough to get by and then you stop. This is me again to a T. It's easy to get comfortable with a certain amount of money, You can relax a bit and take your foot off the gas. Maybe even pull off the road at a rest stop for a while. But what if you didn't do that? What if you kept going a little bit longer? What if you pushed a little further and created more money in your life? It doesn't have to be hard work. It just has to be a bit further outside your comfort zone than you've gone before. And it'll feel amazing when you do, I promise. The next one is to fill your calendar with busy work to keep you occupied and ignoring your situation further. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Busy work has been a trendy thing over the past decade or even longer. But if you've done exactly that, then you'll also know that it's the fast track to burnout. Saying things like, I don't have the time to look at the numbers right now, is a very unhelpful trait of almost all of the money archetypes. I know you've got places to go, you've got people to see, and you've got stuff to do. But if it's mostly busy work and you're really just spinning your wheels, it's time to quit ignoring the important stuff. This is something that my Start, Stop, Continue guide or checklist can help you with. Sorting out what's actually important. What do you enjoy? What adds value? And what makes you money? All the other busy work, that can go. You'll find the link to get your free copy of the Start, Stop, Continue guide in the description and in the show notes. The next one is where you use credit instead of saving money, and you end up paying excess bank charges and interest on your purchases. This is another ouch, even more so if you're an alchemist, romantic, or celebrity money archetype who just likes to ignore everything and just roll with whatever happens. And probably the nurturers too, who may be inclined to take out credit or dip into their own savings in order to rescue someone else from the pain of their financial situation. I have nothing against credit, but it's also not a financial strategy for the long term. You're essentially borrowing money against your future earnings. It's a gamble that you're going to be able to pay that amount off. And that doesn't always pan out. Paying excess bank fees and interest, that only serves the bank, not you. And the last part of our perfect system here is where you don't invest in a team because you just tell yourself you're happy doing everything yourself. This is a really hard one, but it's also a necessary one. Imagine if you could outsource or delegate all those essential things that you really dislike doing to someone who loves doing that thing. That would be an incredible freedom for you. One of the best and first investments that you should make in your business is someone to handle the stuff that you don't want to do. You don't have to do everything yourself. Work out what it would cost for you to get some help. In most cases, it's a lot less than you think. But of course, that ties into one of the other parts of this perfect system, ignoring your situation and not knowing your numbers. So can you see how all of these parts are completely obvious by themselves, but maybe not so much when they're the parts of a perfect system for self-sabotage, an all-encompassing thing? I know this is an uncomfortable topic. And even as I was writing my notes for this episode, I was giving myself a mental slap for still doing some of these things. Like I said, I don't have my shiz together either. We're not all made to be perfect. None of us are made to be perfect, in fact. But following a perfect system for self-sabotage is not helping any of us to be successful either. And as I said earlier, every sabotage is a system. It's designed to keep you safe in your comfort zone. But there's always a better system if you're willing to make a few changes. Whatever you're doing right now is not wrong. But are there things that you could improve? I would say yes, most definitely. If you'd like my help creating a new, perfect system for making money and smashing your goals without burning out, let's talk. I help you create the perfect system to simplify all areas of your business, including your workflow, your client roadmap, your pricing, your offers, and how you run your money. All of that happens in my Ignite Business and Money Coaching program. Head on over to deirdreamies.com/ignite for all of the details, or you can send me a DM for a quick chat about your specific needs. I'm at Fun Business Fun Money, all one word, on Facebook and Instagram. You can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. I'm Deirdre Amies over there. Make sure you tell me that you're a podcast listener too. That's the fastest way for me to accept that connection request amongst all the other ones. Or you can email hello@deirdreamies.com if that is your preferred method of communication. So that's what I got for you today. The perfect system for keeping you safe when it comes to making money. It's not a great system, but it's one that so many people follow. And I would love to see that change. You deserve to have more, be more, and do more in your life and business. And that starts with receiving more money instead of repelling it with all of those unhelpful traits and habits that we've implemented without realizing. Take care, have fun being open to a new relationship with money, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me. If you found this episode useful, make sure you hit that follow button on your chosen podcast platform so you get the notifications when each new episode goes live and you don't miss anything. If you know someone who would also get something from it, don't be shy, share it with them. One of the best things about being a business coach for online entrepreneurs is helping them make sense of their creative ideas and turn them into a simple, clear business system that actually makes money. A client recently described me as a castle building expert. You've got the big vision and some of the building materials already, but you don't quite know how to bring it all together into a solid foundation. Then I come along and I show you the blueprint that makes sense of it all. I love that analogy. And I'd love to show you your personalized blueprint, the one that's just right for you and your clients. But I can't do that until you join Ignite, my business and money coaching program. So head on over to deirdreamies.com/ignite for all the details. Fill out the application form and let's talk about building your castle in the simplest, easiest way possible.